That tremendous statue is of Matriarch Alexandra Varick, founder of the Protectorate. I'm shocked the traitors haven't defaced it.
Attention passenger, you are running 21,027.5 hours late for your tram. Please be mindful of your departure in the future. Stay vigilant. Report any suspicious activity to your nearest station warden.
I used to love taking the train across Dorado, seeing the Marcasite caverns, the silence of the desolate plains. But that's all in the past now.
The plan can wait. Our lines will not. Good subjects arrive 15 minutes early to avoid missing their tram.
Death. I believe refugees attempted to take solace from the fighting here. I only hope they found peace in oblivion.
Please, somebody help us! Anybody, please! Finally, some help. We desperately need aid. Desperately. My family and I, we was making our way to the mercy camp for us refugees. We were set upon. My wife, my son were injured. Can't move them by myself. I had to leave them just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. But being alone is even more riskier. The Varachnids, I chased them off, but they'll be back. Please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to the camp. Please. I don't... Vary, by my guess, she was bit on the thigh, high, like, can see bone. Or maybe white means infected? She's screaming all the time when she's awake. Then she goes to sleep. She in agony. And my son ain't waked since the attack. Hurry, please. We must hurry or they'll be eaten. Or worse. Thank you. Thank you. This way.
malefactor ahead.
Not exactly.
Get him, boys! I am primed to punish.
Let's get you healed. Out of sight and on the way. To the rescue. Sight unseen.
The authority!
Seems the Order was not prepared for such an influx of refugees.
Another refugee? All right, step forward. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. I seem to recollect one matching your description set for arrival. Pardon my slowing your ingress. It has been rather hectic of late. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts. Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here. Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. That's enough questions. Keep the line moving. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the settlement.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders and the Order defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Cloister is looking pretty good right about now.
A wasteland devoid of life? No, Arcadia is doomed. Plain and simple.
Algorithmic dissonance? I don't even like the sound of it. How could something be incalculable? Why, the very idea is preposterous. And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Distraction and I are old colleagues at this point. My part in these shared circumstances is admittedly somewhat unique. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. I am sure they bear any inconveniences with grace and dignity. I mean, the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy has some pretty compelling numbers. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors: longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time. Then back to it I shall get.
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use a little salt.
You there! Cease rifling in your colleagues' pockets or else! And you, no jostling! Oh, forget it.
Commander, you got a minute to talk? I got some thoughts on this situation with the refugees. The number of folks seeking refuge from the war is, well, it's beyond what I expected. And beyond what the Order is capable of handling, seems like. Antes may not be faring much better here, but we could at least find enough work for these folk to buy some food. I mean, we ain't gonna give up our cots for what could be the enemy. We're doing what we gotta do to keep our heads on our shoulders. It's a tough situation, that's all I'm saying. But if the Order can't even manage tens of folk at their doorstep, they ain't gonna manage much better should they win the war. But nothing's ever really free, is it? I went through this myself when Auntie's Choice took over Tau Ceti. It took time to secure the merger, but once they did, we folk got the help we needed real quick. And all they wanted in return was the signing of an employment contract. Now, I ain't seeing any contracts in Matriarch's Mercy. So what is the Order actually gaining by doing this? They'd have to be evil to even think of them as such. And they'd have to be stupid to think that's a line nobody would cross. The Order doesn't strike me as either. Anyhow, if the Order is in fact helping these folk with no hidden aims, then, well, I'll be the first to admit that there might just be merit in what they're selling. Appreciate you hearing me out.
The Grand Plan is the predetermined order to the entire universe. We can predict it down to a decimal point. Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common laypeople are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. Oh, dear. I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on Order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Perhaps some other time we can debate the theoretical complexities involved. But I fear I must get back to my duties. These laypersons won't enlighten themselves.
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Yes, technically a hut is meant to be only one story, because when you stack them, they tend to fall over. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone, so they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down. Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes. They're doing something, which is better than nothing, but not by much.
The lower hall is for contemplative calculation. The upper hall is for somber internal speculation. For those lost in thought and are finishing an equation, I repeat, the lower hall is for... contemplative calculation. The upper hall is for somber internal speculation.
What caused the schism between the Protectorate and the Order? The Consul tried to kill presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar, but we saw that coming.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side. I predict that the worst is behind us.
Ah.
We're not going anywhere! Not on the basis of some half-baked prediction. This so-called exclusion zone is where we stake our claim. Stand with me in defense of freedom!
Please, don't distract me from my more pressing distractions.
Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. Cheers to that, friend. When war looms its ugly head, adaptation is key. May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import. I was once considered quite the up-and-comer in the Department of Invasive Marketing. Looked down on all the bottom-rungers and have-nots. Then I came here and became one. Happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me. The exclusion zone. The Order has decided to keep us out thanks to some nebulous prediction of disaster. Screw their predictions. We have people, displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. Chance of life-threatening peril from a yet-to-be-determined catastrophe were the administrant's words. Not what I would call specific. I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. I couldn't get anywhere with Administrant Agarwal, but maybe you'll have better luck. Even the Order, for all of their logical ways, value an outside perspective. And because I've run out of options. I got a pretty fancy gun I was issued back when I was a rising star at Auntie's. Side with us, and it's yours. Even throw in a healthy amount of bits for your troubles. Thanks, stranger. Maybe fate's on our side for a change. You can find Agarwal in the lift building, probably formulating another equation to get on my nerves.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.23 margin of error, that our situation will improve in time.
Stop me with the predictions. You don't even know multivariable calculus.
Just trying to cheer you up.
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. Well, if the archivist said so, I suppose I can factor out a moment. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. If it was a duly appointed Order official acting to assist me in distributing supplies to the displaced, yes. If that someone is you, no. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one can hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. Appreciate you respecting my time. My time is yours. You may peruse to your heart's content, but do so speedily for my sake.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you? Oh, May, is it? You're on a first-name basis already? This is about the exclusion zone, correct? Or that it only that simple, but she ignores essential variables of the equation. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. We don't know, and therein lies the frustration. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, "An outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute." And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold. I believe only in the cold, inconvenient mathematics of the cosmos. This will work. It must work. The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started? I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. But you already knew that. Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here. According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain, more than usual, in fact. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, you will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
By the law. It's you. Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me. Oh, I'm sure the math would agree. The intersection of variables, probability, and healthcare are truly a numeric labyrinth. Nevertheless, whatever you choose to believe or disbelieve, here we are. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's Mercy, and I have but two imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them.
Might have time to patch up one or two patients before we head out. I used to be a combat medic. A good one, too.
You also strike me as someone on the go. I need committed medical employees, not a freelancer. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. Thanks to you, our automechanical doctor has been dispensing medication and setting broken limbs with tireless efficiency. Take this. On behalf of the Order and the displaced, I thank you. Now, will there be anything else? Since you aren't a refugee, I hope you understand that I cannot offer my goods free of charge, but my prices are fair.
You're right. The universe does not orient itself toward fairness. But it's my firm belief humanity can do better.
All evidence to the contrary.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability? In the future, a simple no will suffice. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Ridge? Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the N-Ray range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution.
Business is it of yours?
Let's not be unfriendly. The agent's only curious. Obviously, Victor's work has something to do with N-rays, but beyond that, I haven't a clue. More of that pesky compartmentalization, I'm afraid. Besides the highly caustic Xeranium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay. Victor is dedicated. Single-minded, one could say. I've always thought highly of his analytical skills as a researcher. Less so his social ones, perhaps. Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Auntie's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Xeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Choosing levity at a moment like this is only further evidence of your lack of good judgment.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. Most assuredly not. It would eliminate the entire point of the ceasefire. Please convey that fact to whomever you speak with. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will.
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis. Yes.
Seer Wiley is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine. No, it's not like that at all. Our bond is an equitable partnership built upon a foundation of mutual respect and dedication to the plan. In fact, what would you put our combined efficacy rate at these days, Wiley?
I won't trouble our good agent here with the exact calculation, but the percentage is considerable.
I dread the day your immeasurable talent finally propels you into the upper echelons. Truly, Landon, the Order doesn't realize what it has in you. That is a statue of the matriarch, Alexandra Varick, Arcadia's founder and for whom the monastery was named after. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-Order members at the moment, given recent troubles. But perhaps Seer Wiley can give us an estimation of its reopening.
Oh, certainly. According to my calculations, the monastery will be accessible to certain members of the public shortly.
Haha, good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit. The observatory is a true sight to behold.
Have you beheld that new rifle up at the monastery? The Oracle?
The one Wiley designed, right? Uses a tracking algorithm, never misses. Sounds ambitious, even for him.
We need to help the folk at Opportunity, Commander. Void the Abbot. He's more concerned with exonerating his own than with making things right. Hope you appreciated how I bit my tongue back there with the Abbot. Didn't want things to come to blows with civilians in the crossfire. Full of excuses for the attack, wasn't he? Could be that he's sincere. Or could be that he has his hands so full with keeping his community from falling apart that he missed a memo or two. Either way, I'm willing to stay my hand until we know the truth. If it were my folk buried under the rubble, if Ortiz was among them, I'd want to know for certain before acting. Besides, ain't nobody around here better suited for investigating than we are. I prefer doing my shooting after asking all the pertinent questions, Commander. While we're at it playing detective, we need to scope out Opportunity. If there are any survivors, we ought to help, however we're able. I can only hope they had warning enough to run for cover. If they didn't, well, there's only so much basic training can prepare you for. Once endured a week-long bombardment in a foxhole with only enough rations to last 3 days. Screams went on twice that long. Some of us still ain't fully recovered. We should move on, unless you've got something for me? This was a direct hit. Complete annihilation. If these troops had no warning, then there's a lot of caskets we'll be needing. lot of casualties. Our medics ain't equipped for this. Not even close.
Did that blast give me a dunder? Or is some damn stranger walking into my area of operation right after we've been attacked?
You all right, officer? We saw the impact and got over here fast as we could. If there's anything we can
do to part you from your bits while you're desperate? Yeah, I know your type. You go private, but then lurk in the shadows like manta wasps looking to prey on easy marks. You got any reason I oughtn't have you shot? Yeah? Well, what exactly makes you so sure of that? Huh. Interesting. Did he say who he thinks did hit us? Not that it matters, I suppose. Not like we can muster a counterattack or anything. But even if I did believe you, so what? Seriously? You expecting me to ring up Auntie and tell her, hello, Maven of all marketing? Just letting you know that this scrutinization officer says everything's hunky-dory. You've clearly been out in the Dorado sun for too long. Ah, an offer for transaction. Now you're talking my language. Didn't reckon you as someone sympathetic to our ways. It just so happens we might be able to trade services. Normally, I wouldn't admit this kind of weakness. It's bad practice. But I'm really in the squeeze, and you might be useful. Lately, my luck's been right miserable. I got enemy sneak attacks. I got grunts murdering each other. I got unsanctioned power struggles. And it all risks reflecting badly on me. Well, who else should I be worried about? Do you have any idea how abysmal that's going to look on my next employment review? You cut down the number of issues that are vexing me, and I'll send you a word of peace and harmony up the chain. What's good for me is good for you, see? Quid pro quo. Or, if all that sounds like too much work for you, there are other ways to curry my favor. Make me believe your good intentions. Encourage me to take your side. Absolutely. Bits are a bond that buys a broad bevy of believability. Auntie says so herself. They show sincerity, trustworthiness, and a goodly dose of class. That bomb that hit us, it was filled with uranium. So not only did it kill us the good old-fashioned way, it also caused serious poisoning. My contract medicalist over there is literally up to her elbows in it, her hourly rate is ridiculous, and our damn autodocs have gone on the fritz from the workload. You get her the compression coil she needs to make the autodocs work, and that should cut her billable hours in half, and then I'll send your message. There's been a murder at one of our forts. A trooper's accused of poisoning her senior officer for some preposterous reason. Problem is, I'm already short on medical specialists. The last thing I can do is waste one for days just to find out if she did or didn't toxify him. Go find out who done it, and I'll send the message you're asking for. This is gonna make no more sense for me saying it than it's gonna make for you hearing it, but apparently, the senior officer at one of my forts is a mantisaur. A real, actual, pincer-faced, carapace-having mantisaur. Not a half-human one, or a psychic one, or a talking one, just a regular old, head-munching mantisaur. Anyways, there's some dispute over who his second should be, and he can't exactly decide himself. So go sort it out for me, and I will gladly send your message. Now, you know that's an irrevocable deal, right? As in, please remember it's legally binding, and I will sue you if you fail to get it done. So don't let either of us down.
Even standing amidst the smoldering ruins of this outpost, the bleeding bodies of his comrades, this fellow thinks only of profit. Auntie's choice is truly odious.
Slashy? Hey, Slashy. How are my 3 favorite mantisaurs doing? Kindly take a couple steps back, friend. This time with my precious mantisaurs is sacred.
I noted a number of biology drawings adorning the walls of your domicile. Did you pen them?
Oh, those? Yeah, they're mine, but they're more like doodles, not finished pieces. Ain't got enough ink for that. Did you like them?
The artistry is remarkable. The accuracy to life and the detail work is, it's nice work. Even for a barbarian.
You don't want to learn, do you?
Never! An arbiter need occupy themselves only with the practical. Even if my artistic skills are, perhaps, worthy of improvement.
Thank law, Fort Endurance still stands. We ought to check in. That better not be what I think it is.
Honestly, Bradford, I've no notion of how to cool your conniption. Corporate says I'm in charge, so I'm in charge.
You're in charge? Wait, you're in charge? Don't you mean the executive is in charge?
Of course that's what I meant. Whether I say me, he, or we, it's all the same.
It's all the same pile of gum.
That tone is not how you get approval for your little tests, designer. Next time, you might want to try and tame your woolly curds with a little mock apple. Yes, I hope you're not here to apply for employment. I'm already overwhelmed by the sheer volume of peons I'm forced to oversee. And if you're here as a spy, know that the temporary ceasefire is on tenuous footing. So if you stay, it's likely just a matter of time before I'll be stringing you up. That's right. Auntie's Choice and the Order stopped officially shooting at each other almost 3 years ago. Since then, we've just been sitting here twiddling our thumbs. Although, whatever's happening with Outpost Opportunity may well signal the exciting and lucrative return of open hostilities. Regardless, you're clearly not part of a little cosmic serial, so why are you in my base? Enemy Scrutinization Officer Durbin. What does he want with me? Ah, well, in that case, your business is with both my commander and me. But I'm being rude. Allow me to introduce Strategic Ingestment Executive Wojciech, Senior Most Representative at Fort Endurance. Now you're starting to sound like some of the wagabouts I've got under my command. Why would I be anything but serious? Executive Wojciech has been part of this unit since he was just a pupa. As he grew, he's shown exceptional bravery, stoic stalwartness, and strong leadership. It's earned him promotion after promotion, until our last battle against the Order deprived us of our former chief executive and left him as the senior-most trooper. Okay. The executive welcomes you, but would like to know why Scrutinization Officer Durbin sent you here. My experimental mantisaur graft lets me speak with him as easily as I do with you. He emits pheromones that my antenna can detect. He wouldn't be much of a commander if he couldn't communicate with the troops.
Hey, Commander, it's my professional opinion that we should back away slowly. This guy's craft is either messing with his gray matter, or he's messing with us.
You may have heard stranger stories, but never one quite so full of sprat done.
Designer Bradford, you've been warned about disrespecting the chain of command.
And you've been reminded, repeatedly, that I'm not under your chain of command. I'm technically under the Mantisaur, but that's got nothing to do with you. I just wanted to make it clear to our newcomer that you are full of shit. You've always been full of shit, and you will always be full of shit. So you're best ignored entirely.
That is quite enough, Designer. Yes, well, please excuse our curmudgeonly biologist. She's been a pill ever since the promotion that made Wojciech outrank her. Still, that ugly moment behind us, it's a comfort to my mind that you're here. Executive Wojciech has an assignment we're desperate to have done, but it can only go to someone outside our chain of command.
Ugh, not this crabble scat again. There is zero chance you're right. Zero. And this brilliant assignment of yours didn't go so well for the last group. Yes, I have been trying to get Durban to relieve this duo of command for months. But the lives they've lost with this insanity finally got his attention.
Bradford, how dare you undermine me? I mean, us, like that. Wojciech can sense that there are some kind of mutated mantisaurs over yonder, and he wants us to secure one of their pupas to raise as his own.
Oh, stop it. The creature doesn't want a pupa. He doesn't want to breed a superior race of mantisaurs. He wants to eat meat, excrete the excess, and be left alone. That's it. Even if he could ask for a pupa from a rival nest, he'd probably just eat the law-be-damned thing to cut down on competition. He's a bug, nothing more. But the only way to prove it to our command is to have you run this fool's errand. Once it's shown to have been a colossal waste of resources, they'll put me in charge.
That is enough. One more word in question of our executive officer, and I'll have you pitched over the edge with the rest of the enemies we've conquered here.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. With it, Wojciech can raise a Zeranium-mutated Mantisaur army, which will be even more dangerous than the ones Auntie's Choice evolved from the Halcyon stock. We need you to infiltrate the mutated Mantisaur nest, secure a mutated pupa, and bring it to me here. Do that, and I, and Executive Wojciech, shall make sure you are well rewarded for your efforts. Look in the nest to the east. That'll have your best odds. It's where Wojciech feels the pull from the strongest.
Feels a pull, Wentworth? Seriously? What am I saying? That makes the exact amount of scientific sense I'd expect from you. Excuse me? May we speak a second? Apologies for my outburst, but I had need to warn you that an earful from Wentworth is akin to sucking on an inhaler full of ammonia.
Hey, what are you two talking about?
Nothing of your concern, Wentworth! Just ignore him. He was clever enough to pretend that Graft lets him talk with the beast. So overnight, he upstarted from simple trooper to de facto commander of this installation.
You know it's impolite to whisper, right?
But I've studied him extensively, and it is most assuredly nothing but a play for power. I am. I've watched for patterns of behavior that would demonstrate higher communication, and they don't exist. So, catering to his will isn't going to do anyone any good. Conversely, the scientific value of studying the mutated pupa he wants is exponentially greater than any possible use he could have for it. Bring it to me, and not only will I match any reward he offers, but you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that it will serve a much greater purpose. I'll have to... Oh, fine. Fine. If scientific discovery and the betterment of future products isn't enough for you, I'll pad your coffers a little something extra. Just, please, bring me the mutated pupa.
The jest is really tortured at this point, Commander. We're not actually doing this, surely? Commander?
Here comes the horde.
You've returned. I mean, we knew you'd return. We've been waiting. Did you bring the pupa for me? Wonderful. Now the formation of our new Mantisaur regiment can begin in earnest.
No, no, no. You really don't want to do that.
Biologist Bradford, that is quite enough of...
Listen to me. The man is a charlatan, a fraud. And if you give him the specimen, it will be forever lost to his ignorance. And while it's not unique, it is difficult to acquire. The Mantisaur doesn't want it, nor could it ask him for it. Wentworth only knows it was there because I made the mistake of telling him it was almost a certainty. If you give it to him, it will be wasted. If you give it to me, the science I will perform will fuel biological weapon advancements currently only dreamed of.
Bradford, I am the commander of this base, and you will...
You are nothing but a bottom-ranked trooper who has lied his way to power. But your tongue betrays your grift.
That is enough. Me and the Mantisaur are one. Whether I speak or it speaks, it's all the same voice. And right now, we are both contemplating some frontline service for you. I will take the pupa now, if you please. Finally, Wojciech can begin breeding our new Mantisaur army.
Is this an event we desired to occur, or is this an event we did not desire to occur?
What have you done? You stupid bug! You've ruined everything!
Mantisaurs! Eyes up, troops! A mess of the bastards are coming from the east. Restocking
Did they follow those folks back from that nest?
Its second in command, which is probably one of the local sprats.
It's over. I can't believe that stupid Mantisaur ruined everything. Now it'll be back to the front lines on Paradise Island. Unless I can convince them I can speak with Crabbles.
Oh, lovely. You again. I hope you realize that you contributed to that insanity. For all we know, it was murdering the pupa that caused the Manosaurs to attack. And did it as though there's nothing between your ears but soft rocks and hard nanners. You could have used the amount of common sense nature gives a box of hair and realized he was lying. That's not that. Actually, that is a pretty good point. You're right. You may not have had much choice. Your apology. Go tell Durbin you did your best. Your inadequate, cysty-fisted, highly unfortunate best.
Please tell me there's a damn good reason you're back. Well, I suppose it can't reflect badly on me to simply report the facts. And you have already made me look better in the eyes of the executives. All right, I'll send it. And if you'll leave me, I've got lots left to attend to. But do come back if you can be of any further use to me.
Welcome back. Anything I can do to assist you? Yes, what have you discovered? Well, you've lessened the load on my mind considerably. And you have the Order's gratitude. Any other updates?